Yeah, what's up, everybody? JT is in the house. What's up, man? How you doing, buddy?
What's up, baby? How are you? Welcome back to the Weekly Throwdown. It's your boy JT representing TSF and FSC. And after tonight, Elio, you're going to have no choice but to acknowledge me.
The man with 1,000 acronyms, my friend. Thank you, everybody, for joining us one more week. All right, of the Throwdown, the show with JT and myself. Throw it down week after week, battle style. Throw some topics up in the air, and the best man with the best takes takes the title home. Oh man. So anyway, before we start, go ahead, JT. You had something to say.
Oh, I was just gonna do my little piece saying, hot takes, cold takes,
That's
the
right.
whole shebang in between for our new listeners like Mike Pineacker, saying Jason Kidd is better than LeBron James. Man, that's a double low blow right now as a Mavs fan, but we'll let it slide this time. Also, what's happening, David Genus?
We're running with a little technical difficulty. You good there, man?
I'm good. Can you hear me?
Yeah, now I can hear you. You froze up for a little bit.
Gotcha,
We're gonna
gotcha,
do those shout outs one more time throughout the show, but you froze there a little bit anyway. But it's all good.
gotcha.
Hey, shout out to all your guys that you bring. You're the guy with the fan back up here. You know what I'm saying? So you're the guy with the fan behind the show, man. A lot of your people tune in, which is not a nice shout out and is greatly appreciated for the views of this spectacular program. You know what I'm saying?
All
All
all you
right,
gotta
man.
do
Yeah.
all you gotta do is buy these dudes a couple beers and, talk some shit with them and educate them on why LeBron James the greatest basketball player ever. They'll follow you around for the rest of your life, Elio.
Oh shit, it's gonna be a bad thing. It's gonna be a bad thing. Anyway, without further ado, let's get this popping. Let's get it on, baby. One more week. Your boy's coming back from a big W. I know you're feeling pretty bad, but it's time for the throwdown. But before we get this thing popping, right, and I go ahead and knock Jordan out, please do us a favor. Go hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit those notifications so you don't miss a single moment, minute, or second of all our shows which we do week after week. And of course, do us a big favor because we got to pay the bills, right? Go to Underdog Fantasy, download the app, put in our code Throwdown, and get yourself double up to $100 deposit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know what you're saying. British lady, bring in that first topic.
Your queen has arrived. Acknowledge me. The WWE has been acquired by Endeavor, the parent company of UFC. Is this good for business, as Triple H would say, or does their future have no chance?
Let me start this off, Jordan. Since I
Go
won
for it.
last week, let me start this off. All right, you
Okay,
don't mind,
winner goes
right?
first. I like it.
You don't mind. First and foremost, man. I mean, it's definitely the end of an era, but the beginning of a new one. You know, Vincent Kennedy McMahon does it again. The revolutionary, the man that made sports entertainment. Remember, it used to be wrestling, all right? Territories from his days as Pops. Then he made it into his big conglomerate, right? He pretty much acquired everything, right? He's made it into the giant that it was. And he's like the revolutionary, he revolutionized the sports entertainment world. So again, he took it from a small market base to worldwide, international. Record breaking attendance at every single venue they do, including WrestleMania, right? They did it in the SoFi Stadium. I mean, they broke the record, I guess, twice because they had it back to back days sold out. Record breaking pay per views. And then, of course, he does it again. He knows when to make these moves. Now that the merger with UFC, the parent company of Endeavor has merged Morale, you got a over 21 plus $1 billion company right now, man. You know what that does? You know what that does, man? That does a absolute bang up job of having more power, more reach, international. You're gonna have, multiple crossovers now. We've seen how the success of wrestlers, right, jumping like Brock Lesnar and having success in UFC. Vice versa. How many UFC fighters have gone over? Kem Shamrock and others, even Ronda Rousey, over and they have some great careers. So the talent pool's got to get bigger. But the biggest thing it's going to be the international reach. All right, ready, and it's going to be great. And I think is the next level, the next phase of combat sports. It's going to be on, and you're going to see that emerge with this merger right here.
Okay. All right. So I don't disagree with any of that really, but I'm going to take a little bit different of an angle. To me, this has been a long time coming. Ultimately, sports entertainment as we know it, man, I think it's business as usual. I think all this is Vince and Triple H and Shane and Stephanie and everybody over at WWE, man, they've been trying to sell this thing for a minute. They built this into a global brand. I don't think we're done with WWE and UFC. I think boxing's next. I think Endeavor is coming to take over the entire combat sports world. I think one interesting little tidbit here is both WWE and UFC have their television deals coming up in 2025. So I imagine that's going to be a pretty lucrative chunk of change right there for both of those brands coming back to Endeavor. So I do think we're going to see some layoffs coming, typical of the WrestleMania season. And same thing happened when they acquired UFC. They let a lot of people go. They'll trim the fat. They'll build it back up. I'm excited as hell. I think this is best for all parties involved.
And just to add a little bit to your point of the TV contract coming up or whatever, I think it's gonna become one of those things that they have enough to create their own network, right? Create their own, just cutting out the middleman and just streaming it out,
Yep.
directly. I mean, they have the two of the biggest companies that sell the most pay-per-views out there, right? And I agree with you 100%. Boxing, that's gonna
And
be the future,
At WWE, they already did the network thing and then they pivoted away from it.
right?
So adding that UFC library, yeah, I'm with you there. British lady, who won the round?
Point. Jordan.
Yeah, you love to see it. Hey, real quick, I
What's up?
don't know if you'll know the answer to this question, but for my boy Ryan Lee Miller, Gator, as some know him as, he wants to know, do you know that the band that sings that song that goes thunder, feel the thunder, lightning, and the thunder?
Shit, I heard the song. I just don't know the name of the band. Thunder, feeling thunder. That's all right there.
Yeah,
Lightning.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, he wants to know. We'll settle that offline, but yeah, he's already got you there. What's next, British lady?
The new MLB pitch clock is in full swing. Is this good for baseball or is speeding the game up too much for the old baseball farts?
Go ahead, Jordan. I'll let you take a crack at this, man. I want the amateurs to have the
I
advantage.
just want to know which of us is the old baseball fart because I feel like that's certainly not me. Uh,
Go
anyway,
ahead, take your best shot.
for me, man, so I'm giving it my best go, and baseball was my first love. The more things change, the more things just stay the same. The little baseball that I've watched this year hasn't really changed much for me. Yeah, the game gets over 20, 30 more, minutes sooner, but I also feel like a lot of that's just plugged with, extra commercials and crap like that. At the end of the day, the pitch clock is nice. The shorter games will be nice, but we all know what's missing from baseball. We need to get back to the 1990s, early 2000s, cranking that damn ball out of the park at a historic rate. I want to see somebody make a run at Barry Bonds, and Mark McGuire, and Sammy Sosa. Chicks dig the long ball. I dig the long ball. Everybody digs the long ball. I don't care if the game moves a little bit faster.
Unfortunately, PEDs are not allowed in baseball, man. So we cannot get back to the Sammy Sosa days, Mark McGuire, A Rod. Which, by the way, I've met A Rod a few times in my lifetime, bro. I even took a piss next to the urinal up here in Miami one time, at a restaurant. So, claim to fame. No homo. But
Did,
anyway,
did, did you look? That's all I want to know. Did you?
no, no. I asked him for Gina's phone number. He didn't like that.
Oh,
He did not like
I
that.
would have looked.
Have some
But look,
respect. E-man.
anyway, I actually love it. Like, look, I'm a lot older than you. I've been watching baseball a lot earlier than you when baseball was a lot slower. And honestly, it's getting to the point, maybe the older I'm gotten, the less I wanted to watch a full game. I would like record games and just fast forward through everything just to get to the offense. So having this pitch count, I think it's great. I think it's great for the game. And, unlike other sports, NBA, the NFL, they change certain rules to kind of evolve the game. Major League finally got the point, right? Finally got the memo after all these years, right? And because these baseball league purists don't want to change the game because they want to keep it pure, it was time, man. It was overdue by 10 years. This pitch clock just speeds up the game, right? we're in a new era where everything is a lot shorter of a attention span. And the fact that, look, if everybody doesn't know what the pitch clock is let me recap the rules real quick, right? The pitcher has 15 seconds to throw the pitch, right? With the bases empty, 20 seconds with runners on base, and the hitters will need to be in the batter's box with 8 seconds of the pitch clock. So it's kind of, it goes both ways. You're speeding up the hitter. He's not over there, hitting with his freaking gloves and, wasting time and all that BS. And then the pitcher's also making sure that he's not wasting his time tossing the damn Rossen bag and just waving off freaking sign left and right. I think it's great. I think it's evolved the game just in a week. As you mentioned, it has reduced games in opening day by about 26 minutes. I mean, Milwaukee has the fastest game ever, I think, in Major League history for like 200. It was like 2 minutes and 14. I mean, 2 hours and 14 minutes, something like that. Honestly, it has shown results. It's speeding up the game while keeping the integrity and the quality of the game. We've had really good games and some decent offense and great pitching performance. Look, the players and the coaches have bought into this pitching clock, and they're all in. And I think it's great for baseball because it's going to capture the young audience who, for a lack of a better word, have a very short attention span. Or shorter.
Point. E-Man.
There you go, man. You know what I'm saying? Before we move on, let's hear a word from our sponsors. Add Underdog.
Underdog Fantasy is here to save your post-fantasy football season blues. The easiest place to play and win with the Underdog Fantasy app. Get up to 20 times your money in a single night with our Pick'em contests. Grab some insurance when setting your picks and win even when one pick fails. Go online now and use the promo code Throwdown to double your deposit up to $100. Sit gingerbread, good girl.
Oh man, I think we should open our own OnlyFans page here, bro. We have we're turning a lot of heads here for the audience tonight.
Yeah, we are. Hey, two dudes just sit back and talk about baseball.
I know. It's
not it live. Bring it in.
Before we move on to the next topic, please go to the Underdog. All right, code Throwdown. Download the app. All right, we got to double up your money up to $100. All right. So, British lady takes us to the next one.
The Arizona Cardinals and DeAndre Hopkins' relationship may be coming to an end. If the star wide receiver is released, what is his ideal landing spot other than America's team, the Miami Dolphins?
Oh man, listen. You guys have enough fucking wide receivers already in Miami Dolphins, dude. You don't need another one, all right? But I'm sorry, JT. I apologize, but I'm going first.
Take it, baby. Take it.
Okay? But there's only one team that makes the most sense. It's not going to be Dallas, JT. Okay? We know that. You guys got Brandon Cooks already. That's history. Man, you can't do that. That's it. You're done. You got enough money. But it has to be only the one and only one of the Blue Bloods, the Giants, baby. The New York freaking Giants, all right? Picture that combination, all right, with Darren Waller lining up and D-Hop. We finally get that wide receiver, that stud, that guy that can get that 50-50, all right, ball every time Danny Dimes just throws back out there and throws a dime. And look, the reason why I say the Giants, because number one, we got money. We got definitely money left in our cap, regardless of all the signings. Number two, what other team has more experience with dealing with high maintenance wide receivers and prima donnas and divas like the Giants did? We had the worst in the history, which is Odell Beckham. We know what we're doing. Bring that dude in. Brian Dable is the perfect coach to handle the likes of DeAndre Hopkins. All right. He will be a number one target right now for Danny Dimes. And look, I think even though he's lost a little bit, because he's turning 30, I think, right? He's 30 already. And I know he was suspended last year, but he's still a type of guy that in the right offense is going to produce, right? It's going to produce really well. And I think, look, I'm not going to lie. I'm not saying this because of my Giants, right? But I think Daniel Jones is a better quarterback than Kyler Murray for DeAndre Hopkins. Okay? Absolutely. Brian Dable is going to elevate that dude to the last level where he needs to get and win that Super Bowl. All right? So the G-Man is the right spot for DeAndre, for D-Hop.
So you lost me the moment you mentioned Daniel Jones. Man, ain't nobody trying to go have Daniel Jones throw them the ball. Daniel Jones better than Kyler Murray at what? Being tall? Because it certainly isn't football or playing quarterback. Listen, as much as I wanted this to be the Dallas Cowboys, and man, would that have been a match made in heaven? CD on one side, D-Hop on the other. Golly, that would have been great. Look, this is a no-brainer. You know what D-Hop doesn't have? He doesn't have a ring. He doesn't have a title. who's most likely to win him a title? Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs, who just so happen to have a glaring need at the wide receiver one position. You take the best team, the best offense, the best quarterback in the world, and you give them this guy as a weapon. I mean, we already saw what he could do with Tyreek Hill, and man, maybe he's not as good as Tyreek Hill at this stage in their careers, right? But I guarantee you he's a hell of a lot better than Juju Smith-Schuster. And at the end of the day, that's the chef's kiss right there. Give me Kansas City, give me Pat Mahomes, and give me DeAndre Hopkins.
Here's the thing.
Point, Jordan.
Hold on a second. Before we move on, they don't need DeAndre Hopkins. They could do it with Kelsey again and a bunch of fucking plumbers like they did last season, right? So DeAndre Hopkins, they don't need him. I mean, Patrick Mahomes can throw to a blind man, a wide receiver, and still win another title. You know what I'm saying, dude? So
he can't. The problem is DeAndre Hopkins doesn't want a blind man throwing to him. He wants a good quarterback, and that guy is not Daniel Jones. What's next?
Jalen Carter is refusing to talk to NFL teams who don't own a top 10 draft pick. Will this be something that the little shit will end up regretting?
I'm going to go first here. I'm going to say no. I'm going to say no. Jalen Carter was arguably the number one overall prospect in this draft just, several weeks ago, right? Has the legal stuff that's popped up. Yeah, he's showing up a little chubby. But, man, this guy was an anchor on the best defense in the NCAA. He's a game wrecker. He's a game changer. He is somebody that is absolutely plug and play, going to be a day one starter and high-level starter in the NFL. What he's saying is, look, I'm not wasting my time. I'm not going to interview with these teams that can't draft me. He wants to, spend his time with the organizations that will draft him. Him and his agent, they have said, listen, if somebody wants to trade up, we'll talk to them. But ain't no reason for this kid to be talking to 11, 12, 13, 14 on down the line. This kid has that real talent. He is absolutely going to be a game wrecker on the next level.
Jalen Carter is an anchor, all right? Freaking anchor sinking all the way to the bottom of the fucking ocean on the draft rankings, all right? All right, that's what you got right now. And the fact that this kid, like you mentioned, all right, he showed up 10 pounds overweight, performed horribly at camp, and of course, the last time that he showed up and was actually relevant was after winning that national championship, because he hasn't done anything but keep sinking and sinking and sinking since then. Again, if I'm him, I'll be like talking to the top 20 picks. All right. This is one of the biggest moments in your career. He's on the downslide right now. There's no time to be confident or cocky. It's time to be safe, man, and make sure that I honestly think it's one of those risky moves. All right. Honestly, he needs to like entertain at least 20 teams. He definitely needs to. It's a big gamble, and you're gambling with probably one of the biggest decisions of your career, which is going pro. Now, granted, they're saying that, NFL gurus in the NFL draft, like Daniel Jeremiah hinted at Philadelphia being the likely reason why Drew Rosenhaus is so confident about declining visits to teams outside of the top 10, because he feels confident the Eagles are going to grab him. So you don't need to do that. I think it's bullshit. Look, Drew Rosenhaus is one of the best agents, probably the best agent in the history of the game. But right now, man, I think it's a pretty dumbass advice by Drew, and he's not playing the right card here. It's pretty stupid by Jalen Carter, who show a lack of maturity. And again, look, I'm gonna steal this from Mike. How do you pronounce his last name, bro? Pinnaker?
Pineacker.
All right, man.
I said Pinnaker too. That's how we called him Pinnaker for months before we found out.
Pineacker. He wants some pie, baby. Anyway, I am gonna agree with him. Exactly what he says. He thinks he's like prime time. He's no Deion Sanders, bro. Deion Sanders can show up with a fucking $1 million golf cart. This kid can. Do not risk it. Go buck wild. Do your thing. Do your diligence. Don't be stupid. I know he's listening to the agent, and most likely he's going to get nabbed in the top 10, but I will not risk the biscuit, baby. This is not Vegas or poker.
Point, E-Man.
Baby. What's the score right now? 2-2?
2-2.
What a fucking
round 5. Here it is. Championship round. What you got, lady?
We
What
got
a
we got this,
surprise.
Judge
We have
Hill
reached the
fight.
fifth and final round, and I can't decide who's the dumbest yet. Keeping with the theme, what was your biggest surprise in the first week of the MLB season?
Let me see. I think I'm gonna take this one first, right? I got another MLB topic, so I think you're gonna allow me to go
This
first.
is
If I'm
your
not
thing.
mistaken, right? Yeah. All right, here we go, man. And I'm gonna enjoy this one because to me the biggest surprise has been how much the Philadelphia Phillies have sucked ass in the first freaking week of the season. All right, these are the defending champs. All right, the National League defending champs, and all of a sudden they started the year in a freaking dumpster fire, a sinking ship. All right, it's been really, really bad. They're tied for last in the National League East division. 26. Remember, there's 30 teams in the major leagues. They're ranked 26 in runs score, 24 in home runs, and dead last in team ERA at a whopping 6.98. Freshly of a spanking by the Yankees, lost the series. They're 1-5 to start out right out the gate. All right. I mean, the first week has been a complete dumpster fire. Now, I think we need to get used to this because I think the Phillies are setting the way for the Eagles, who are going to start out the same way. All right. Because guess what, man? They don't have that solid team because they couldn't afford to keep everybody. So this is just a sign of how bad Philly has started. I think we're going to see the same thing with the Eagles. The 76ers are going to make the playoffs, probably number 3 seed, but most likely are going to get pretty are going to get eliminated. They're not going to get to the conference championship because it's going to be between, it's going to be the Bucks, right? Most likely with against Boston. So it's going to be a bad year for Philly sports, and it's starting out really, really classy for Philadelphia, man. You know what? I'm going to say that I don't feel bad for those fans because it couldn't happen to a bunch of nice people like the Philadelphia fans. All right.
Yeah, I agree with that. But listen, look, Evie, we're both huge sports fans, right? We've been around for a while. We know about the Murderers Row Yankees, right? We know about the MJ Bulls, right? Man, we know about Jacob DeGrom's 2023 Texas Rangers, baby. The Phillies are going to be just fine. They're going to be okay, right? They just went up against the juggernaut Texas Rangers, right? Yeah, it was a rough season last year, but man, we like to do it big in Texas and just throw money to the wind and see what sticks. And man, we tore it up. We swept those Philadelphia Phillies in week 1. And you know what? We did that while Jacob DeGrom didn't even have a good start, right? And I know he didn't do well in that first start. The sky was falling and everybody was, freaking out. But, then the second start, last night, 5 no-hit innings, 11 strikeouts, just absolutely tore up the Orioles. The Texas Rangers are here. Much like Fantasy Sports Corporation, we are here. We are going to stay. Watch out, Astros. We're coming for that pennant.
Yeah, they're here, all right, and they're gonna stay here. They're 4-2, lead the division, tied with the Angels. Weak division. If you guys don't win that division, man, you should be ashamed of yourself.
Weak
With
division.
all the coin that you dropped. All right, I mean the Astros are starting 3-4, so but all the coin. I mean,
Who won the series last year? Who was it?
what, the World Series?
Yeah,
The Houston Astros.
the Astro. British lady, give me that point.
Point, Jordan.
Yeah.
What a shellac! This is. I need a recount, man.
Winner, Jordan.
Man, as humble as I like to stay, Elio, I've got to say that, there really can only be one winner in this show. And unfortunately, my friend, that just cannot be you.
Loser, dumb assy man.
You got knocked the fuck out.
It's not the British lady anymore. It's Minshew. I believe now it is time for my final take. That music sounds so much better when it's coming after I ask for it. Anyway, tonight has been all about acknowledging me, just like I want to acknowledge Roman Reigns, the WWE, and an absolute banger of a WrestleMania. WrestleMania 39 took place last weekend, 2-night card, and it was phenomenal from start to finish. We had a little bit of everything. We've got guys like Logan Paul battling Seth Rollins. That kid, love him or hate him for his social media stuff, his YouTube stuff. He's killing it, man. He is next. Edge coming out to Slayer, the old school Brood entrance. You had Ricochet. You had Gunther, Sheamus, and McIntyre just beating the living shit out of each other. God, there's no better time of the season than WrestleMania season. And it culminated and was capped off by Roman Reigns defending his title against Cody Rhodes. Instant classic. Both guys kicked out of finishers multiple times. Sami Zayn got his revenge, but in the end, it wasn't enough. Roman Reigns continued to be the one and is now marching his way to a 1,000-day reign as WWE champion. And I, for one, am glad that I am on board and getting to watch this history. So that is it for us today. Make sure you bang that subscribe button on YouTube. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And don't forget to join Underdog Fantasy, our partners. Throw down $100. They'll throw down $100 to match you. We'll see you next week for another round of the Weekly Throwdown.
E-Man. I said, E-Man. Acknowledge him.